Hi folks, Trev here from Deep Southeast. So it's a bit of an exciting announcement today. We've got 3 new cures in our range, our artisan range, which we've actually launched today. Mozzies everywhere. So what we've got is, some of you will know these, but we've got our labels all sorted and we've got our packaging sorted, and it's looking retail ready, and it is going to be an excellent range for people to really cut their teeth on curing meats. So the first one we've got, you'll see here, is the maple and cinnamon breakfast bacon cure. So with this one, it is a dead easy cure. That's a dry cure that goes on. You're going to put a small layer on, leave it for a few days, tip off the moisture, you put it in the fridge, obviously in a sealed container, give it another coat, leave it for the rest of the week, and then rinse it off and smoke it. Beautiful, that easy. So the second one in that range is the Pig Doctor. Pig Doctor is going to be more of an everyday bacon. Notes of fennel and pork is absolutely stunning, but it's not overpowering. And that one is again same product, dry bacon cure, easy to do. We've got nitrites in there. Don't be scared of them; they stop you getting botulism. So everything's nice and safe. It's easy and safe, and you're not going to have any issues with it. So this is the one I'm really excited about today, and this is our pastrami cure. So this one is going to do up to 5 litres of water, and that's the curing mix once you've done it, and that's going to give you up to 5 kilos of pastrami. Now pastrami, it's got the instructions on the side of all of these, tells you how to do it. The thing with pastrami is that you can use a few different cuts of meat. In this case I've used silverside. Silverside is the cut of meat, it's not necessarily cured, so you've got cured silverside or you've got fresh. I've asked for fresh. I've got this from Meatland. It's an absolute stunner. It was on about a 5 kilo slab, so I've taken half of that. I've got 2.5 kilos here, and I'm doing a half batch. Now if I was to do 5 kilos of it, I'd probably cut it into 2. I would make the mix up, and I would probably get a larger bucket. This is the one I'm going to cure this one in today. So the process with this is, you take your you're taking the actual cure mix, which has got all the beautiful flavours you'd expect of a proper, authentic New York style pastrami cure. And what I did was I put about 2/3 of this container into 4 litres of water. So now it's not going to be relative in the sense that if I do the full 5 kilos, I'm only going to put the other third in and put it up to 5 litres, because it'll fit and it'll get fully covered and it will cure it nicely. So it'll be, nice and concentrated. So first thing I've got to do is I've got to inject it. The process for it, which you'll read on the side, is you mix it with the water, you put it into a pot, put it on the stove, and you get it just to a simmer, and you let it just simmer for a bit, and then you turn it off and let it steep. That gets all the flavours through the liquid. Then your liquid is ready once it has got back to room temperature, and you can do all of this process which we're doing now. So what I want to do first up is inject it, just because it's so thick. So thinner cuts with other things you won't need to inject, but because this is nice and thick, this is a trick with your injector. Always wet your little rubber seal and it will go in a lot easier. There you go. Put it in a little bit and tighten it up. And what all I'm aiming to do is just get in, so I can see the grains going this way a bit. I just want to puff it up because it'll spread once it's in there. You can see that puff out nicely. Don't miss any spots, because you'll get that look of, some of it'll be grey and some of it'll be that lovely red that you expect of pastrami. Now you can use silverside, you can use brisket. Traditionally it was navel was the cut, now brisket is what they're using in New York, and you can use silverside obviously in a few different cuts. Ribs is another thing, they're doing pastrami ribs quite a bit, but that has got a nice solid dose of injection. So any food safe bucket or container is going to do. If I can work out how to open it. Gee, there's some mozzies here, tell you that. Where the hell's the thing? So this is going to fit perfectly. I did measure it against it, and I've got almost enough liquid to cover it, and if I do this, I'll be set. So what you want to do is you want to weight it down ideally with something heavy and clean, but I'm going to be turning it every day, even a couple of times a day, and that's going to kill for the next 5 days. Fits perfectly in my 45 kilo Waco, just sits out in the shed and just stays nice and cool and refrigerated. And we'll have the follow-up video once this goes in, gets its smoke, and we'll give it a slice up, and we'll talk about the rub for it then. So hope you enjoy the range. It's going to be hitting shelves very shortly. First up, I think, is going to be Matt up in 3 Hog Smoking up in Maryborough. He's going to get his this week, and also a new butcher in Inverell, which I'll put an announcement once they hit the road and are on the way there. So we'll be announcing where the stockists are. They're going to retail about $14.99. You're going to get really excellent value out of these, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. So thanks folks, I'll see you soon.